What's up? Is this the wrong mic? My PC rebooted. Actually, DTE rebooted my PC. Was not my fault. We lost power a couple nights ago. Welcome back to the Build Show. VNE, welcome to the Build Show, sir. It's been a while. Tattoo Tuna, welcome to the Build Show, sir. Tattoo Tuna. I can never get the name right. All right. I'm your host, Ben Estrino, over here at the Empower Gaming Studio, and today we're building another PC. Today, we're not just building any PC, but we're building Donald's PC. Donald has purchased over on the website, if you're familiar with any of our builds over on the website. Robert Fixit, hello, sir. I'm starting before 10 o'clock. How about that? Welcome to the Build Show, sir. But if you're familiar with any of the builds over on our website, we do have a particular build called the Phantom Storm. The Phantom Storm features a 12th generation i9 with an Asus Prime motherboard, and then you basically select your GPU. But this is the Phantom Storm from over on the website. Just call me the gold member. I know you're all about that gold theme. Excellent, excellent. So, really looking forward to putting this build together for Donald. I hope everybody enjoys the stream. It is actually still light out. That is new. Maybe, you know, with the Earth tilting again, or however it's working, it might be in my favor as the days get longer, you know. Might be in my favor. But yes, it is a technically earlier stream for me by like 30 or 40 minutes. So I'm actually we've actually got a lot going on lately, so I apologize. I know the streams have been very inconsistent. This past month of February has been very loaded with just stuff, and there's more stuff coming up. So I had my sister getting married, and then I had a friend of mine, his bachelor party that we were dealing with, and then we also had the bachelor party for my brother-in-law, and you know, and then my mother-in-law now is in the hospital, so that's where we've been pretty much all weekend dealing with that. So I do apologize that the streams have been very inconsistent lately. I actually had a customer drop off a PC for me to work on Friday, and then because I didn't get to it on Saturday, which I originally planned to do, a stream on Saturday to rebuild his PC in a proper case and clean it up, because the last place that tried to build it did an absolute terrible job. He couldn't even put the glass panel back on this case because the cable was hanging off his 4090. It was in the way. It was a terrible build. So and I don't know if he bought the parts and brought it to a place and had them build it, whatever. The cable management was just atrocious. It just needed to be rebuilt, basically. So I told him I was going to rebuild it into a different case that's bigger, that'll fit a 4090, which was the Asus, of course, Asus ROG Strix 4090, and so that he could put his glass panel back on. And I was going to do that Saturday, and I couldn't get to it because we were at the hospital, unfortunately, for my wife's mom, my mother-in-law. So anyway, Sunday came around, and I was like, I'll try to do it Sunday, and if not, worst case scenario, I'll be doing it Monday. So I was going to do that PC tonight, and then of course Donald's would have been Tuesday, but he came and picked it up and said I'd rather take it somewhere else to get it done faster. I'm like, I mean, you dropped it off Friday. It's pretty good turnaround, because my turnaround time is generally 6 to 9 days, and I was trying to just fit it in to get it done for him, because I know he was in a hurry and he needed his PC. So I mean, if he would have waited one more day, it would have been done. But oh well, can't win them all. But anyway, yeah, that's why we won't be doing that stream now, because the content has left. Hey, what's up, Sincere? Welcome to the Build Show. Steve Anderson, welcome back to the Build Show, sir. We are currently building Donald's PC tonight, which is build number 24 for 2025. We're a little bit behind schedule. We've had a lot going on in the month of February that we're running through here. But let's go ahead and get started with Donald's PC. I know he's super excited to get this one going. So here we go with Donald's PC. This is the Phantom Storm over on the website. Basically, it's a solid build, and you get to choose which graphics card you want in your build. The graphics card on the websites, or the website graphics cards, will eventually be updated as soon as we are able to. Oh yeah, that's another thing that I had to go do on Saturday, which I was late for. Robert Fix-It. Sorry, I'm gonna pause right here and talk about that a little bit too. So Robert Fix-It brought up a great point. Steve Anderson, I will get to an RMA here in just a moment, your question. But real quick, Lucas from the Rainbow Connections had a wish from the Rainbow Connection. The Rainbow Connection is a foundation over here that helps kids make their wishes come true. And I believe Lucas is enrolled in it because he has, I think, I don't know what he has, but there's some sort of, he has something, there's something wrong. But anyway, Lucas was really cool, and he wanted to build a PC, and the Rainbow Foundation reached out to me because they saw my content on YouTube. They're like, hey, can you help Lucas build his PC? He really wants to do it. I'm like, yeah, I could do a one-on-one build with him. And then we got talking with Micro Center. I was like, well, we got to figure out where we're going to get the parts. So we went over to Micro Center. We started working with them. And then I decided, it's probably best just, hey, let's, really cool experience would be go to Micro Center, buy the parts, build it there at Micro Center so that it's, just a really cool experience. So Micro Center accommodated us, and I was there with Lucas showing him how to build his PC at Micro Center in the back in the service center, which was super cool. So I walked Lucas through building out his entire PC. We were there a lot longer than we anticipated, but of course I did get there late because of the hospital situation with my mother-in-law. So everything was just kind of unraveling, and it was a very busy weekend. So, but that was really cool. If you guys are interested in learning more about that, you could go check out the post on the Facebook, X, and YouTube. Has the information about that event that we did over at Micro Center with Lucas with the Rainbow Connection. The Rainbow Connection. But his wish was to build a PC, and that's what he got. So Steve Anderson, how do you RMA? How do you do an RMA? The best way to do it is, depending on your manufacturer, go to the manufacturer support, their website. Generally, they should have under support or help or contact us an RMA option or way to contact them about an RMA. Most of their websites have a form that they'll have you fill out. You fill that out, and then you'll get an email, and usually that's your RMA number. From there, you just follow the instructions of the RMA. Typically, they want you to send the defective item back to them first, and then they'll send you a replacement. And some manufacturers, depending on who it is, will even give you a shipping label to use to ship. Some will even actually give you a box too, or give you a sheet that you can bring into like UPS and get a free box. You just have to, it's just going to be based on who it is. What do I need to do to RMA a Samsung 990 Pro? It started pushing red. I looked it up and said the drive was getting ready to fail. I would contact Samsung for the RMA first and see what their process is. I think I've only ever RMA'd a couple of them, and I actually had to go back through my reseller because it's going to be a little bit different for me because I purchased from a business account, so they had me just go back to the reseller, which in this case was Amazon, and I just had to contact Amazon, send it back to them, and then they sent me a replacement. So I don't know if it's going to be different for you. It probably will be, because I just went to the distributor. But that was what I was told to do by Samsung. So I would go to Samsung support and start an RMA process from them first and find out what they want to do from there. That's probably the best way to start. Mr. Lopez over on Facebook, thank you for the like. And same with you, Lauren. In the private piles over on Twitch, thank you for the follow. A couple hours ago, but thank you nonetheless. All right, let's get back to Donald's PC. We're going to get started on this. So the Phantom Storm is a PC that you can purchase on the website. We've built quite a few of these, I think, in the past, but it features the Montech Sky 2 case with the i9-12900K, which has got 16 cores, 24 threads. I do have the Thermalright LGA 1700 contact frame for him, as well as we've got a Thermalright Aqua Elite. Well, it's supposed to be an Aqua Elite, but I did the Frozen Note. Liquid AIO cooler, and that's a 360mm radiator with three 120mm fans. And then we have an Asus Z790V AX LGA 1700 motherboard. So, and then we've got 32 gigs of DDR5, and this is CL36. I'm just curious if they gave me 36 or less. They gave me 36. Ripjaws S5 series, and that's by G-Skill. So this is a super solid kit. If you're looking for just a basic, kit to start with that's very stable. I've had a lot of success with Ripjaws. Ripjaws in the past has always been very, very successful. 2TB M.2 NVMe SSD, which in this case we have the UD90 by Silicon Power. 2 terabytes of storage there. And then we have an RTX 4060 Ti 8GB GDDR6 128-bit card. The card we had to select based on availability was the PNY Accelerate model. So there's a lot of shortages, or there's a huge shortage right now on graphics cards. They're getting very, very difficult to get. So it took quite some time for this one to get here. And I expect further delays on graphics cards going forward until things start clearing up, like the 5070 gets dropped and maybe the AMD 9070 XT and the 9070 helps kind of lift some of that weight, I'm hoping. So then we start seeing more inventory available, which will be awesome because there's nothing available right now. It's so difficult to find cards. Yes, and then the case is a Montech Sky 2, and we're going to be doing this in white, obviously. So we have a white Sky 2 with us today, as well as an 850 watt 80 plus gold power supplies with PCIe 5.0 and ATX 3.0 ready. So this power supply is ready to go for any future graphics cards that Donald is looking to upgrade to later down the road. We've also got some cables here that are white for extensions. And that'll help with the white build theme. With all of that being said, I did not update the build command. Give me one moment. Okay, we fixed that. Montech is king. Quite literally, they do have a case called King. I mean, that's cool. All right, so let's get started. do. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the CPU, the motherboard, the RAM, the SSD, as per usual. Oh yeah, the other thing is I don't have my LTT store screwdriver anymore. Hey, what's up, Jesse? Welcome back to the build show, sir. So I did give Lucas the LTT store screwdriver that we've been building with for, I think it's gone through almost 70 builds now since well, it was like 150 last year, so we added 50 plus the 20, so it's like 75 build or 74 or 73 builds is what it went through. So he did get to keep the screwdriver. I let him keep that, so I did order another one. It kind of has grown on me. So, but tonight we are not going to be building with the LTT store screwdriver. Darn. I'm going to miss it for at least 1 or 2 builds. It was kind of a in the moment, here, keep the screwdriver that you built your PC with. Kind of a cool monument. But I did want to get him some like a hoodie and a hat. I just didn't have any in his size available. And anytime we go print them, they take like 2 weeks to get here. So I was like, and I didn't think of that until like a week ahead of time. So. Here we are. So I'm gonna try to still get him some. Cool memento. Ben, the 9070 XT is truly as good as they are saying. I may get it over the 7900 XT. Yeah, I mean, it would make sense to do that. So, it's supposed to be pretty badass, so we gotta just wait and see what they actually do. For all we know, they're gonna be doing fake frames too. I don't know. FSR is a thing, so. We also have just received our first 5080 order of the year, so I've got to track down 5080s. You know, a couple of people that are looking for them. All right, so in goes the Intel i9 12900. Okay. Still a great value for this processor. Oops. Is that not the right driver? I already missed our LTT store screwdriver. way more magnetically friendly. Did you not watch their first actual AMD release video they did? No, I did not watch it. I've been extremely busy. So 32 gigs of DDR5, 6000 CL36 G.Skill Ripjaws S5 going in. And like always, A2, B2 for the slots. Next up is our 2TB NVMe M.2 SSD. This is by Silicon Power. This is the UD90. That's the model. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch that yet, Tat. People already have benchmarks on YouTube. No idea if it's fake or not. Yeah. Until I see them released, I can't say for sure that's real. Dagnabbit. All right, next up is our Thermalright Frozen Note hardware, or mounting hardware. Hey brother, what's up, Brandon? What graphics card are you putting in this one? This one's getting a 4060 Ti. Welcome to the Build Show over there on the Facebook. One terabyte for Call of Duty, 1 terabyte for everything else, yeah? Hey, what's up, Bazooka? Welcome back to the Build Show, sir. Yeah, I know. Call of Duty is getting a little bit out of hand, I'd say. Somebody needs to, you know, keep them in check. I can't believe you built 700. I can't either. 733 PCs in 2023. It was a very busy year. I did also go full time in 2023, so I was able to do that. Now I'm not full time. It's a little light after 2024. Everything kind of slowed down. been slowly picking back up, though. Eventually, we will get there. Or should I say back? There. Alright, so we've got our mounting hardware ready to go. Now we just need a case. Oh, thanks for the follow. Lonely, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Welcome to the build show. All right, so let's go ahead and get a case out. I'm going to zoom out here so we're not just staring at a black table background. Hey, what's up? Yeah, there's a lot to the build there, Ant-Man. Sorry about the build command spitting out a lot. You could call me Virgie. If my name's Betty. I just, you know how it is. When you're reading chat, you're like, lonely. But yeah, I'll call you Virgie. Which build am I doing? I'm doing a build for Donald, which is actually the Phantom Storm. So it's a 12900K build. The build command is the correct info, it's just a lot that it spits out. Yes, sir. I always enjoy watching system builds. Nice. Well, good news is I do a lot of them. So you've come to the right place. Get this glass panel off and then maybe it'll get rid of some of that reflection of the light. What's for dinner? I actually don't know. Tonight I don't know what's for dinner. What's up, Tony? Welcome back to the build show, sir. Welcome back, welcome back. How are you doing today? And Ant-Man, I don't know if I told you that or not, but welcome back to the build show. What are we building, boys? Well, the build command does work. I did make sure of that. But it's a 12900K Z790 board by Asus. It's an Asus Prime board. We've got a Thermalright Frozen Note 4060 Ti, 32 gigs DDR5, 2 terabyte M.2 SSD, the Sky 2 by Montech, and a 4060 Ti. Did I mention that? An 850 watt power supply with some cable extensions. Oh, we already opened that. Nice white case. Yeah, this is the Montech Sky 2. It is a super clean white case. Yes, I agree. Montech's white is very clean. I like Montech's white. Same with Height. Their white is very clean as well. Lian Li's white is also a very white. Those are three very good whites. In fact, Dantex is also another really good white. There's some companies, such as like Vitro and like others, that have like these off-whites. Even Deepcool had kind of like an off-white. It was kind of weird. But yes, we are building this bad boy tonight for Donald. Super excited to get him his build. He placed the order back on the 22nd of February, and we're mostly waiting on the graphics card. That thing took forever to get here. Literally showed up Saturday or Friday? Yeah, the idea of this build is, if you go on the website, you'll kind of make sense of why there's an 850 in here. But the idea of it is you have a power supply in here that you can upgrade with without having to upgrade the power supply. So you can upgrade the graphics card and go all the way up to like a 4080 or a 5070 Ti if you wanted to, without having to upgrade the power supply. Though that would be pushing it on a 4080, but I mean, it would run it. I don't know why I brought all of these out. Don't need those. Don't need those. The case really looks clean and cool. Yeah, it's a really nice, clean case. By Montech, this is, if you have a Micro Center nearby, you can get this for like 79, 89 bucks. But I think on Amazon they're around 100 or 109. And it includes 1, 2, 3, 4 case fans, 3 of which are reverse blades. So you've got 2 on the side that are reversed for intake, and then a bottom fan that they give you to mount that is also reversed. So you're able to reverse, or you're able to keep the fans all the same direction. And then we're going to mount the AIO at the top for exhaust. Tony, I did not get to see the 9070 review yet. You bought a GeForce Now, it's pretty good. You can play games anywhere. Nice. I actually have not gotten to experience that yet, so I don't know whether or not I'd like it. I'm trying to get some PC builds, but it is slow right now. Let's see if it picks up by the summer. Yeah, I mean, it should pick up, like, should be picking up around tax season, which should be right about now, which is what's happening to me. It's been picking up like crazy. Give you an idea on the, like, last week, we had maybe 1 or 2 builds. This week, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, technically 10, if I count that as a project. And I had already done that other one the other night, so I think it was Friday night. They stack up on me all the time like that. Like, nothing comes in for like a week or 2, and then all of a sudden, here's all this work you have to do. Case. Building my son a PC in a few days. It's a Ryzen 5 5500 with a 3060 12 gig. That's a pretty good card. Welcome to the build show, Brody. Think you'll love it? Oh yeah, that's gonna be a solid build for especially a kiddo. A Pivia Phoenix BK Phenom micro ATX case. So I'm assuming you went with a micro ATX B450 or B550 or maybe an A520. Nice. Yeah, it's a pretty good bundle. Hey Dabbit. Currently watching everyone play because I'm tired of the stutters. Are you still getting stutters? I can't remember if you're getting stutters or not. or if you came in here and mentioned that. I've had a couple of people come in here and say that. It's Brandon. Okay, gotcha. I got off of Facebook. Yeah, Facebook is, let me see. It gets buried quickly in the chat, so I apologize. B550, gotcha. Nice. Yeah, that's a good solid board you can upgrade with. And AIM 4, you can go all the way up to the Ryzen, you know, for gaming. A Ryzen 7 5700X 3D or the 5800X 3D if you could find it. But those are really great options for upgrades later down the road. I bought a PC from you, build in a couple days or whenever you get to it. Let me check for you, Brennan. Wait, you got 700 plus builds in 2023? Yes, I did. Hold on, let me check for you, Brandon. So Brandon, I'm gonna try to be doing. I'm gonna try to do your build stream tomorrow evening. So, if you're around tomorrow, it'll be great. I'm gonna try to do 2 builds tomorrow night, so we might get started a little bit earlier. Oh no, no worries. Don't worry about it. People do it all the time. Or the Ryzen 9 5950. Yes, Ant-Man. If you want for gaming performance, the 3D V cache would be a better option. If you want for productivity with the extra cores and threads, then the Ryzen 9 5950. So if you're streaming, maybe the Ryzen 9 5950 is a better option. But if you're gaming, and that's all you're doing, the Ryzen 7 5700X 3D would be a better option for the AIM4 socket. Cheap viewers. I don't know if some giant idiot's lurking or not over on Twitch. I'm so excited, Ella, especially because I don't have any idea what it's going to look like. Oh, you don't? Yeah, you do. Well, I think you're going to like it. Thank you, some giant idiot. Much appreciated. I think you're going to like it, Brandon. It's going to look pretty sick. I don't want to see it. Oh yeah, he's always lurking. Always watching. What do you think we should do for some giant idiot who's always been helping out in the stream? Doing all the moderations for us as it starts to get busier and busier and busier. Poor guy works, you know, 500 hours. What do you do for your moderator? All right, let's get some of these front panels plugged in. Well, first you have to make sure he's appreciated. Make sure he knows he's appreciated. Or they. I think he knows that. Do I ever cook? I grill. So the wife cooks, I grill. The wife cooks and bakes. The missus in power cooks and bakes, and I grill. So anything that needs to be grilled goes to Ben. And anything that needs to be cooked or baked goes to Mrs. in Power. And that has just been the thing. So when we go camping, which is usually in the first 2 weeks of August, generally, it's usually me because everything's grilled. So I usually bring a grill up there, a pretty sizable grill, because we're grilling not just for us, you know, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us, but also for the rest of my family that's up there, because it's like a large family gathering event And, you know, there's like 30 of us up there. So we're grilling not just for a few people, we're grilling for like 30. So it's like a line assembly when it comes to grilling while camping or cooking while camping. But yes, I grill. I don't cook. I used to cook actually a lot. Since I'm Italian, I grew up with, spent some time at my grandma's house, lived there for a little bit with my grandma, and I learned a couple of recipes and used to do pretty good. That's actually, you know, how I impressed Mrs. Empower a little bit back in the early days. With my cooking skills. No, I don't ever get to smoke meat, Joe. I don't have a smoker. Something I've always wanted to start getting into, though. Because it sounds amazing. And welcome to the Build Show, Joe. Not yet, I'll hold off. All right. I have an AMD Ryzen 9 3950X in my other son's build. Still runs great. Oh yeah, that's a solid processor. Feed the whole fam. Yeah, I know. You should do a LAN party while camping. We have actually done that. We have done a LAN party while camping. It's been done. Just imagine a canopy, a large canopy, with 3 picnic tables piled across, and a couple of Netgear switches plugged in, and everybody with a static IP. Because we didn't have internet back then or anything hosting DHCP. We just went static. Old school. Oh, that's over there. That was a long time ago. You got a gas smoker, nice. I actually don't know the difference. That's, you know, stuff I'll have to learn. That's a nice looking case, man. Yeah, this is a really good case. Really good price. I think we grabbed this from Micro Center. I think it was like $89 or somewhere in that ballpark price. But I think you could get it on Amazon for like $109, I think it is. Available on Amazon. But we got our front panels plugged in. Next, we want to get our EPS cables, and we do have sleeved cables for that, extensions. So we're going to be using our extensions here to add to the white flavor. These are free cable combed cables that I was going to try. See if I like them. They do give you some additional cable combs, which those don't look that great anyway. These are clear cable combs. And 2 and 2. Pretty cool. Simple. There's that one. Next is our 24 pin that we'll put in. We might have just fallen in love with these cables just because of the fact that they're pre-combed. Way more forgiving, too, when you move them around. The cables are so nice. Yeah, these are, you know, like a $25 purchase that adds some really cool flair to the build. So, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for the sub. Your average pro noob. Thank you. The stand for it got stuck under the end fan. What are you talking about? Just the other day, my son killed my old 2080 Super. Ah, he was lucky. I'm Nard and had a RX 6600 laying around, so he came out. So it came out okay, I guess. LOL. He can't really tell the difference between the two. Yeah, I mean the 2080 Super is starting to age, and the 6600 is actually a pretty powerful card, so it's not bad. You only get 100 hours in GeForce Now Ultimate. Ah. It's kind of crappy. Can't thank you enough for your quick knowledge work on my PC. Always cracking a smile while looking at it. Nice. Yeah, no problem, man. I believe that's Ethan, the build that we did over on Friday, right? Hey, what's up, Bass Music? Welcome to the build show, sir. Just catching up on the chat. I think he was moving his desk around doing kid things. Oh boy. So wait, what happened to the GPU? You said it got killed. And then the stand for it got stuck under the end fan. You can always replace the fan. Oh, the peg, like the GPU peg, the support bracket, got stuck under the GPU fan. Darn. So it probably just moved a little bit and then got stuck under there. Did it break the fan? No, it overheated the card and is going, so it started artifacting. Gotcha. So it sat there like that for a while. Darn. Yeah, I mean, you might, like, does it just instantly artifact, or does it artifact after a few minutes of running it? Or does it just not give you any display? No display. Alright, we're ready to put this cooler in now, so now that we've prepped all the rest of the cables that we needed, we can start doing this. Oh yeah, I should probably put this guy in there too, which is our splitter for our CPU fan. Yep, gotcha. Well, it doesn't sound like repacing is going to do anything because of the fact that it's not displaying at all. Unfortunately, I think it's a beyond salvaging. Might be able to find somebody that'll reball it, because that's probably what happened, is it just needs a reball. But I mean, the card's only worth like $150 now at this point, maybe 100. That's like top end. Used market, probably 150 bucks. And I know Northwest, there's a YouTube channel called Northwest Repair. He would do it, but you'd be spending just about the same price as buying another used one. So that's the problem with trying to repair those older cards. Yeah, I think he charges like $50 up front or 75 or something like that just to look at it. And then that goes towards the repair if it's repairable, which is really cool because he, you know, takes it apart and then messages you and lets you know, hey, this is not fixable, or it is fixable. Do you want to repair it? But he's a really cool dude, very busy. Does take time if you send it to him. So if you got a GPU that needs fixing, like I've sent him a Asus 3070 Ti about a year and a half ago. After it just went blank on us. The customer unfortunately removed the sticker with the serial number, and that was before I was tracking that. So I didn't have the serial number for this card, and so I contacted Asus about it, and they're like, oh yeah, you can look up the serial number on the sticker. They kept telling me to do that. I'm like, I don't have a sticker, it's gone. So then eventually they just told me, yeah, there's nothing we can do without a serial number. And I'm like, is there any way that we can pull the serial number off anywhere, like the core? And they wouldn't work with me on that. So basically I had a paperweight until I sent it to Northwest Repair. He took a look at it, and then he just told me the bad news, which was, you know, I paid him $50 to check it out, and then he came back and was like, yeah, this is not repairable. It's beyond repair. I think the core died, and when it died, it damaged the board itself, so, because it overheated. Overheated. Beyond overheated. And he told me it looked like somebody had opened it and tried to tamper with it. So, and that was because I didn't even take it out and touch it. Oh, thanks for the follow over there on Twitch. I appreciate you. What do I call you? Zai? I don't know. Hello, may I ask for advice? I currently have an RX 590 and I'm planning to upgrade the GPU. Awesome. What were the GPUs that I can use? I have an i7 8700 CPU and a 750 watt power supply with a Z370 motherboard. So, that's actually, that entire platform is aging. I don't know what games you played, Virgie, but if you want to give me like kind of what games you're playing, I can better guide you what benefit you can get. But I think sticking with an AMD graphics card for now would be an ideal situation, just because of the fact that, you know, if you go with the 4060 on the platform you have now, you're going to be running it on PCI 3, and it's not going to run well. So I think the RX 6600 would be the best option. Just call me Zai. Awesome. Welcome to the Build Show, Zai. Can't talk. Did you... they made a Sonic Unleashed official port for PC. It looks and play well. Nice. And welcome to the Build Show. Welcome back, Kenneth. It's wall art now. Yeah, I've got my 2080 Ti. It's wall art as well. It was the EVGA for the Win 3. It was you know, the best of the best in my opinion. Back when the 2080 Ti was king. And mine's wall art now as well. Mine burnt out. It finally gave up. It actually still works. It'll display, it'll run. Just like more demanding games, it just crashes. And so I think it's got something to do with just the flux. There's a bunch of fluctuation in the board, and I don't know how it happened because I had support brackets on it and everything, and I repasted the thing several times through its life, so repasted and repadded, and I feel like it's acting like I used too big of a pad, but I didn't. You know how if you use too big of a pad and then heat happens, it gets wavy, and I think that's how it damaged the memory or the core. One of the two. Something got damaged when the board flexed. So now it's kind of permanent. Brody has a very good used RX 6600 on Facebook for 150. Yeah, 150 is not a bad deal for an RX 6600. I have the Asus ROG 2080 Ti. Yes, that was another king of its time. Oh, also Super Market Together. I did play that. Okay, Valorant, League. Okay, I mean, yeah, your best option is probably to go with an RX 6600, but I would plan on getting off that platform that you're on with the i7 8700 on the Z370. I don't know how much money you have budget-wise for upgrades, but the RX 6600 new is going to be around $200-ish right now. If you can find, even if you got to aim for like a Ryzen 5, either 3600 or 5600, that would get you PCIe 4.0 on a B550 motherboard, and then, you know, go. I would get more new RAM, because the RAM you probably have on your system is probably like during that time, you know, somewhere in the early DDR4 era, which is a little bit slower, and AMD likes faster DDR4 RAM. So I would go with you know, 3600 CL16 if you can find it, or 3200 CL16 for RAM speed wise, and definitely 16 gig minimum. And you could probably get away with doing that upgrade for around $230-ish new. If you bought everything new, you might even be able to shop around and find new or used prices, really good deals, especially with everybody upgrading to AM5 right now. You might be able to find some really good deals. So that platform that you're on is pretty much a significant bottleneck for anything past like a 3060. It's just a bottleneck. Even with the 3060, it's bottlenecking. So the RX 6600 is got a bottleneck on it as well. But I mean, it will give you way more performance than the 5090 on PCIe 3.0. Okay, let's get back to finishing this guy. Getting ready to mount this. Mount this cooler. I'm going to I'm going to do things kind of out of order here a little bit, just so I could save myself having to squeeze my fat fingers in a tight place. Then we're going to grab these cables somehow, shove them through that hole. Then we're going to maneuver these cables around the side so that it looks nicer and fits better. And then we got to get a screw started. Please hold. I don't know how much of that you saw, but it takes a lot of back and forth time to get it right. Hey Z, what's up? I got a question, Zay. What is a good budget PC for streaming in 1080p in most games? My current PC is an i5 9400F with a GeForce 1650 Super. So if you're on a budget and you're streaming, the number one thing that you're gonna need is an NVIDIA GPU. So I typically tell people like an RTX 4060, 3060 would be the minimum I recommend for streaming. And again, it's going to come down to what you are streaming as well. What do you plan on streaming exactly? Some giant idiot is going right down the same street I'm going. Same question is, what are you planning on streaming? Because that will make a difference. And then also, what screen resolution do you want to stream at? That's an important question as well to think of. But yes, the i5 is definitely going to be struggling with the GTX 1650 Super. Has the encoder and decoder for streaming, which it can do. It's just not going to be very powerful. So you're gonna have a lot of performance issues. It's gonna be leaning on the CPU a lot at the time, probably waiting on the CPU, to be honest. Probably pegged at 100% most of the time. Just while gaming. Because that platform is starting to show its age. Big time. Bigly. Not exactly how I wanted it to do. Here we are. Nice and clean. Minecraft for Final Fantasy, and probably other games. I feel like it. Okay, so I mean, I'd say a Ryzen 7 5700X. I know I'm staying on the AIM 4 platform, but you said budget friendly. So budget friendly would be the Ryzen 7 5700X, which you can find in some places for like 120 bucks. I think Steve over here on YouTube, who's in the YouTube chat, he just picked one up for like 120 bucks or something like that, which is a really good price. And that's got 8 cores, 16 threads. So that's your CPU horsepower that you'd probably want for streaming 1080p. The GPU, I would say a RTX 4060 would be a great graphics card to get. That has, but you just have to make sure you get a B550 or better motherboard to have PCIe Gen 4 for the AIM 4 socket. And that's just one thing that you want, PCIe Gen 4 for our 4060. But the 4060 or the RTX 3060 would be a good card for budget streaming. Either one of them. The 4060 would get you DLSS 3.0, which would help with frame generation if that's something you want to play around with. Only Ghost Type. I'm building a PC right now. Welcome to the build show, sir. Just got the GPU in. Next is the PCU, the power supply. But I'm take the kids for a walk. Oh, that's the worst, having to stop your build. Hey, what's up? So much boost. Welcome to the build show. Welcome back to the build show. But I think something like that, and then 32 gigs of DDR4 3200 RAM would help the stream as well. And RAM's pretty cheap right now, so 32 gigs DDR4 you can find for like 45 bucks right now. It's a great, you know, for budget, that would be kind of the ideal build that I would do. And you know, from there you could get like a Thermalright Peerless Assassin, which is like 35 bucks on Amazon for the CPU cooler. That's an air cooler. Or if you wanted a liquid cooler, you could get like a 240 millimeter Thermalright Frozen Note for like 45 bucks, $40 to $45. Both great options. Peerless Assassin probably would last longer. If you're looking at, you know, trying to stretch your dollar as far as it can go, Thermalright Peerless Assassin is probably the better option. But, and then from there, your storage, definitely an M.2 NVMe Gen 4 SSD on that B550 to take advantage of that PCIe 4.0. And then from there, you're just deciding on a case and a power supply, which you know, a 650 watt would run that, so you don't need anything super crazy for that. But if you want to put in a bigger power supply to handle a future graphics card upgrade, that would help you. So, all right. So this is our CPU block that's going to go over top of our CPU. Going to go ahead and get our bracket on there. And we've also got to put our studs in that I didn't put in earlier. Very good. These little spacer studs, stud spacers, space studs. These need to go in here. Then we need our thermal paste, our pasty, our tasty pasty. No, you should not eat your thermal paste. You should not lick the thermal paste off your fingers. It is not good for you. So guys, if I started a merch, like a candy, that was quote-unquote pasty candy, would you guys buy it? It's, you know, candy, but it's thermal paste. Wonder how many lawsuits I would have. Number one, people trying to use the candy thermal paste on the CPU to cool their CPU. And number two, people eating real thermal paste thinking it's candy paste. Those are the lawsuits I can see coming up. So like edible pasties? Yes. Edible thermal paste. I'm thinking of you, some giant idiot. There's that's What's up, Roach Beats? Welcome back to the Build Show, sir. Hey Ben, do you think a 5090 is overkill for gaming? Yes. I think a 5090 is overkill for gaming. Do I feel like we need it? Of course. No, I'm joking. Yes, it is overkill. It is definitely overkill. Unless you're trying to run like 4K on a, you know, that's your mainstream resolution that you're gaming at, then maybe a 5090 makes sense. And even at, you know, if you're trying to achieve like 8K, maybe a 5090 makes sense. But other than that, no, it does not make sense. Edible underwear is a thing, so why not? Oh man. Of course we went there. Give the thermal paste a taste test. Make sure it's still good and not spoiled. It's like testing the 9-volt battery. Like, when do we learn that that's not good? Put your tongue on it. Taste it. Is it electrifying? That white looks so clean. Yeah, this thing's pretty clean. It's a clean build. I think Donald is going to be super stoked when he sees it. I told you. Good luck finding a 5090 for MSRP. Yeah, I know. You're not going to find one. Not going to find one. Just undervolted my CPU, Brody. Sorry, I missed your chats earlier, guys. I've been rambling on and on here. And your rig runs even better now. And cooler, too. Nice. Undervolting is generally a good idea. Especially if you don't need all of that power. You know, it'll extend the life of all your components if you can undervolt. And in some cases, it does help performance. So I know that's a big deal, especially on like the 14th and 13th gen processors. Undervolting actually helps it a lot. That's kind of like what Intel was doing with their new BIOS updates that they were releasing. was basically just undervolting everything. And, you know, here we are. Many dead CPUs later, and now Intel's undervolting for you, basically. But Chamber Tech, which is one of the guys that we work with when we tune PCs, if you pay us to tune a PC, Chamber Tech's usually doing the tuning. He does a lot of undervolting. I see him do that a lot. Very common practice when you're tuning nowadays. That's good. Good to hear. All right. We are just about ready to drop the graphics card in. And then we get to do a power supply, and then after that we get to do some cable management, and then we're ready to fire this bad boy up. But before we drop a graphics card in, we've got the bottom fan to install that I forgot about, which is okay. Not too much damage done here. I'm going to probably keep this on its own. I don't think I'm going to send this up to the hub all the way at the top of the back of the case. What I'm going to do is slide this here, put it here. And he does have the option to add one more fan later, if you'd like. On the bottom. For some additional intake. So they have the screws and everything for it. Bass music, I have the GT20 or 220. Man, that is an old card. I have not heard that card name in a long time. It's an older card, for sure. I think I skipped that series back in the early days. I didn't get on board with the newer card from my, what was it? A GeForce 6800. I think it was the GeForce FX 6800. I think that's what I had. And or was it something I can't remember. I think it was a GeForce FX 6800 is what I had. I had that for the longest time. Then I got a 96, like a GX 9600, and then I got into a what was it? I want to say it was a 465. Like a GX 465 or something like that. Before that. Or sometime. I can't remember the time frame, but I think it was a G465. That was a pretty cool card. That pretty much ran anything at its time. And then after that, I went all the way up to a 1070 Ti. Or no, I went up to a 760. A GTX 760, or was it 770? It was either a 760 or a 770, and then I went SLI with 760s, and then I went to a GTX 1070 Ti. Don't eat the paste. A lot of history there. I don't know. There's so many cards that I've been through. I don't think I can remember all of them. I'd have to sit down and actually think about the time frame of my computers. Alright, so we're going to get the Stubby, Mr. Stubby out, which is a little teeny tiny screwdriver made for this scenario. We call him Mr. Stubby. He comes out when we need to get in there in tight, small places. All right, here we are. Bottom fan installed. This thing's starting to look like a gaming PC already. But in order to officially make it a gaming PC, we have to install a graphics card. So here we go. It is time for that time. It is time. Hey Viz, do I need a GPU sag bracket for a 1660 Ti? No, you do not. If it is a 2-fan, which most of those were, then you probably do not need a support bracket for a 1660 Ti. It still works strong. You're extending the life on that card, sir. 5090 SLI. Fire. Yeah, I would just... Any power supply that's running a 25090s is just going to automatically catch on fire. It's like catching fire. Except it's not the Mockingjay. It's a 5090. But alright, here we go. Our 4060 Ti that we're putting in here today is by PNY. This is the Accelerate model. Unfortunately, we could not be picky and choose, you know, the cards that we want. Typically, I would have gone with a white card for this scenario, and it probably would have been either an Asus Dual white or a Zotac white or a Gigabyte white card. But in this situation, where GPUs are at right now, unfortunately, we can't be too picky, so we have to get what we get with the shortage. So PNY Accelerate 4060 Ti it is, and it's got a little bit of white on it. Trying to make it sound better than what I want it to be. Got all these peels to peel. Come on. Peel for me. Don't forget your center fan peels. I always take these out because sometimes they're a pain in the butt to get out after the fact. It's a smaller 4060 Ti, but still just as powerful. PNY has always been a pretty good brand, though. Would be really cool. I heard Kingpin might actually be thinking about working with them, possibly. I don't know if that fizzled off or not. Hey, what's up, Jimmy? How's it going, man? Welcome back. Welcome to the Build Show. Streamlabs, good luck with your new channel. Thank you. The voices in my head always say fire, fire, burn, burn. Is this 8 gig? Yes, this is an 8 gig model. I could not get the 16 within, because I know he ordered the 8 gig, but we couldn't get the 16 even if we wanted to right now. I mean, he could have ordered it and then we would have just been waiting longer for it. Hey, what's up, Mike? Welcome to the Build Show, sir. I used to hear bullets and booms for years, bring in more, but didn't have PSC until I tried Xanax. All right. I'm assuming, are you a vet? Yeah, Tat, I'll think about seeing if we can add some more stuff so you guys can earn more points on the channel. Dang, sad face. I guess I'm not following the chat, guys. Sorry. Only ghost type. I got an Radeon RX 7600 XT 16 gigs is what I just put in. Nice. Yeah, that's a good card. Good card. Only ghost type. Yeah. Brody, yeah, my CPU is a 7800X3D. I was able to get it to run stable at minus 40 all core value. Is that minus or is that sub 40? I think is maybe what you meant. And thank you for the sub, Jimmy. I appreciate you, sir. No, was an adventure seeker, end of Cold War against Russians and Cubans in Africa. Oh. Interesting. Like, were you just out there during the Cold War, or were you doing reporting, or what were you doing out there? That is interesting. Or just seeking adventures. Let's see if I could get this down here. Oh, I suck. Go. You got 2 RX 580s for sale. Nice. Yeah, you come up in the feed. Oh, interesting. You could do it. I'm doing it. We are doing it together. Here we go. Next up. Well, it's time to deal with the madness on the backside. Right? Things got a little crazy back here. It's time to clean it up a little bit. Things got a little out of hand on the backside here. But that's typically normal in this build. Come here, Mike. I can't keep you over there. So we got a fan. You gotta separate the RGB and the fans best I can here. RGB, RGB, RGB. This is a fan as well. Okay. We got 3 fans to plug in here. Goes to this little splitter. This is going to go to the CPU fan header. That'll control the fans on the radiator. And then I'm just going to run this down the line here. There's so much extra cable. Not sure what else to do with it here. And then we have RGB, which I'm going to run to this hub right here. We're going to split them 2 to 2, 2 and 2. we'll get a zip tie around this. Keep that in place. Then our extra here. I don't know. Get tucked in right there. All right, we're pretty much ready for a power supply. At this point, let's get that out and get that plugged in. Is that PC Donald Trump? Because it's for Donald? Why, of course it is. No, it's not for a Donald Trump. I'm sorry. Get her done. Get her done. They der. Sorry, that's a South Park reference. Oh yeah, 6 times sending comments to hell. Then the Cold War ended. I stayed until incident happened and they forced me to come home in 1993. Oh. It was like shortly after I was born. I didn't know a whole ton about the Cold War, so... Most of us millennials don't. World peace is what we need, yes. And more gaming PCs. If Trump asked me to build him a gaming PC, we'd be doing a red, white, and blue. America build. It would be called America. I'd etch. I'd do a bunch of glass etching for him. A lot of ideas come to mind. That goes for any president. Or do we call it Mr. President? Or do we do a White House build? I was supposed to be in high school, and I took off until, oh, that's crazy. Until I got a bit wounded and sent home. The border war is relatively unknown. I wasn't allowed in the Marines with asthma. Yeah, I had the same issue with the Marines. They told me to go join the Air Force, and I laughed. No offense. That was back when I was young and dumb. The Air Force probably would have been way better anyway. Elon Musk probably have a gold and platinum PC. He probably has a Bitcoin PC or a Doge PC. You open up his PC and you see two Doge dogs running on a wheel inside of it. Elon Musk actually runs his PC remotely in space. And it just passively cools because it's so cold out there. Y'all got it wrong. Elon has a PC chip in his head. Yeah, probably. Wouldn't doubt that. Somebody's got to test it. Usually stay out of politics. Politics never goes well. Never ends well. No, Elon has a mega AI server farm. Nice. He probably does. Hey, Patrick, do you always go fans in case first on a new build? What do you mean by fans in case first? Are you asking, do I install the fans first? Generally, yes. yes, I generally do. Or I'll put the motherboard in and then do the fans or something like that. But definitely before you get too much in the case. Brandon, relatively new to PC World, how long on average does it take to build? So for me, that's done in a while, and I'm sitting here chatting back and forth. We're going to be at 2 hours for this build. So typically it should take about 2 hours. If I was heads down, I could probably do this in like 45 minutes. And I wasn't sitting here chatting, going back and forth on the stream. I could probably build this in like 45 minutes. But, you know, when you're chatting, it takes a little longer. So I'd say for somebody that's new to building, you're probably going to be spending, close to like 3 hours on it, I'd say, from start to finish. And then maybe a couple hours more with Windows, drivers, and all that other stuff. Hey, what's up, Army Vet? Welcome back to the Build Show, sir. But welcome to the Build Show, Patrick and Brandon. Yeah, man, you finally got a wireless keyboard. Now I can turn my PC to a console like experience. Okay, yeah. I mean, did you get one of these by Logitech? I know mine's kind of dusty, but it's got the little trackpad on here. It's really nice for like media centers or for what I'm doing, which is streaming over here. My stream PC is like really far that way. I have to get up and go walk over to it. It just makes it a lot easier for me. But yeah. We are almost done with this one. I don't know what else I could do here. Seems okay-ish. Cable management. We'll have to flip it over and check on the backside and see what it looks like, but don't think there's much more I can do here. Oh yeah, I wanted to do a zip tie on that 24 pin somewhere. I think what I'm going to do is put it right here. Well, let's try to. That'll kind of help hold it down. Oh yeah, we got M.2 screw I wanted to put in. See if I could get my fat fingers in there. There we go, guys. It's a PC. Ben, do you build sport-themed PCs? Yeah, I could definitely do that. I could do glass etching. I could do custom paint jobs. I could do custom backplates for GPUs. I could even do custom grills for fans. Lots of cool stuff we could do. Yeah, got one of those. Nice. Nice, the Logitech keyboard. Nice. Makes it a lot easier to play from the couch. Or, you know, use a PC from the couch anyway. All right. You guys ready to see this thing fired up? I'll get you guys a side view here in just a moment. Let's see if Ben still has it. Of course Ben still has it. What are you talking about? Like, how could that even be a question? Donald, are you here watching with us? Pretty sure you were going to be here tonight. Hanging out with us. Fired up, Jesse. Jesse says fired up. I just want to check to see if Donald's here. We need Donald to come in and say, push that power button, or move that bus, or reveal. I don't know. 6 more days until the move. Oh man, it's coming up, man. That's gonna be like right when I'm having my surgery. I'll give you a little bit of a break from the streams while I go have my surgery. Oh, I forgot to put the top on. Might help to put this on. Duh. All right, you guys ready? Let's go ahead and fire this up. DJ T will be there shortly. Nice. You mean you don't want to come over and help lift all this furniture? It's the groin hernia surgery. Happening finally on the 7th. I'm so excited to get this thing. So if you let me heal up, they actually said I should be able to start lifting pretty quick. So give me a couple days at least. But here we go. In 3, 2, 1, 2.5, 1. No, 1.5, 2, or 1. Here we go. I know what I forgot to do. Let's do this. Seems to be a common theme. Seems to be a common theme with me is forgetting to plug in our SATA cable. for our huffs. I don't know why I do that. There we go. Much better. Nice. Gotta untwist the tubes. Box of shame. I know. You know, we should make some merch and have, you know, 2 SATA cables being plugged together. Like, sitting there unplugged. That's the life of Ben. Brody. Waiting. Yes, we do have a post, by the way. A new CPU has been installed. Before making any adjustments in the BIOS, please press F5 to load the factory default settings to ensure smooth operation. Now, please press F1 to enter the BIOS setup. Thank you, Army Vet, for the shame. Kind of reminds me of Game of Thrones. Should be walked through the streets with somebody in a dress, a gray dress with a bell. Nice. Well, there she is. I don't know if you're here or not, but there is your build. Beautiful. It's white. It's bright. Some giant idiot said he'll do it. I believe it. Yikes, groin hernia is painful. I know, it is very painful. That's why I can't really do multi-build streams right now, because I'm limited to about 2 hours of standing, and then it starts to get very painful. So I usually just do one build and then call it right now. If I could get like a 15-20 minute break sitting down, I could probably do another one, but I cannot wait for the groin hernia to be resolved. Cannot wait. Every time you cough, every time you pick something up, every time you laugh, basically anytime you do anything, it just doesn't feel right. Give us the build specs rundown if you would. Yeah, so this is a Intel i9 12900K, so it's an Intel 1700 socket. It's got 32 gigs of DDR5 6000 CL36 Ripjaws S5 RAM, so two 16 gig sticks, DDR5, and then we have a 2 terabyte M.2 NVMe SSD, which is by Silicon Power. It's the UD90. We have a 360 millimeter AIO by Thermalright. It's got a 360 millimeter radiator with 3 120 millimeter fans, and they are addressable RGB, about 1500 1800 RPM on the fans. The pump, I believe, is 3500 RPM. Don't quote me on that. I'd have to go back and look, double check. But it also has a nice mirror finish on the block. If you look there with the RGB, it's kind of like a mirror. So if you look into it, it looks like it's an infinity of RGB, which is really a cool look. The case is by Montech. This is a Montech Sky 2 in white. The motherboard is an Asus Prime Z790 VAX motherboard. So it's got all your typical ATX motherboard features, and it's also features the Asus Armoury Crate, which simplifies software to motherboard configurations such as RGB and driver updates and all sorts of other cool features that they provide on the software side. The graphics card is an Accelerate model by PNY. It is a NVIDIA RTX 4060 Ti. It's the 8 gig version, not the 16. We've also got some white power supply cable extensions in there, which I will be cleaning up a little bit here after I button everything up after the stream. And we have an 850 watt 80 plus gold Sagitep power supply powering the system, which is a PCIe 5.0 ready. So future graphics card upgrades for Donald will be very simple. Yeah, that's 850 watts, 80 plus gold. So that is the rundown on the system. I don't think I forgot anything there. The fans are included with the case, the Sky 2. Those are Montech fans. The two on the side are intake, and they are reverse blades. The one on the bottom is, again, intake, and it's reverse blade, and the one on the rear is exhaust. The radiator on the top is set up for exhaust as well. So all of our intake is coming from the side and the bottom, and then our exhaust is at the top and the rear. It's really good airflow in this case. You can also add an additional 120 millimeter case, which you can buy the fan on Amazon. I think they're like 15 bucks, relatively cheap. And then we have a glass side panel that I did not put on because it reflects the light on the camera, so I left it off. But it is a beautiful looking PC. Oh, hello. You going to bed? All right. I have you have a tumor in my chest made of nerve and scar tissue. Oh my goodness, that's painful. I told doctors I had it almost a decade, and over 24 doctors lied. Patients on Facebook gave me diagnosis, but it was too late. Sorry, man. Nice job. I'm actually considering this build, but with the 9070 XT. Nice. Yeah, if you're doing the 9070 XT, I would actually go with AMD platform, which would be a, I'd say a 7800X3D would be a good CPU for the 9070. 7800 or the 9800X3D, either one of them would actually run it pretty good. If you go to the AMD platform. At Tuna, you'll drive to Micro Center 100 times a day, but won't invest in a stool to build from. Well, the stool, I tried the stool. It's not very comfortable. So I thought it would be a good idea, but it wasn't. It ended up not helping. So made it worse, actually. Believe it or not. It's just like the angle that I'm sitting while I'm building. I tried it. Because I'm like, it's weird. I can't explain it. It's going to be fixed on the 7th, and then this problem goes away anyway. Right? F. That's my buddy's PC. Looks good. Nice. Matt, welcome to the build show, sir. So you're a buddy of Donald? Ask him where he's at. Where's Donald? I haven't seen him, pop into the stream here. Unless he's watching over on Facebook or something. Maybe I missed his chats. Well, I hope your healing time is faster than mine was. Yeah, they said it's actually pretty quick, so I'm hoping it'll be pretty quick. But thank you, Jimmy, for the sub. Also, if I didn't mention that earlier. Yeah, you missed the power on. Usually we have him. I'm hoping he's probably, maybe he's busy or something. But I was texting him earlier and he seemed like he was going to be here. But yeah, Donald's PC is built, so we just got to do the software. We're going to install Windows, do the BIOS updates, update anyway, and then make sure BIOS configurations are good and do the drivers, all that good stuff. Make sure it's good to go. And then it will be ready for the pickup for Mr. Donald. I know he's super excited to get it, so. quick question. What does the RGB extensions plug into for the RGB motherboard headers? Depends on which ones you get. If you get the Lian Li streamers, those are USB. So they would be plugged into a Lian Li hub, and then the Lian Li hub goes to a USB 2.0 header on your motherboard. And that's how you control it. That's why it gets tricky when it comes to building a large build with a ton of Lian Li fans and you know, a Lian Li cooler and then Lian Li streamers, and most motherboards only have two USB 2.0 headers. So then I usually buy an NZXT USB 2.0 hub, which is like the only hub that I found that actually works well, even though they're stupid expensive. They're like 40 bucks, 30 or 40 bucks, but they work. So if you are going to buy a USB 2.0 hub for your build, if you need one, internal USB 2.0 headers, expansion, definitely the NZXT hub, as sad as it sounds, works well. All the other ones that I've tried just suck or have weird issues, like random things stop working on them. So they're the only ones that have just straight up worked. I was just playing Marvel with him, but yes, he's pretty excited to pick it up when I was talking to him. Nice. Awesome. Well, thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you, sir. But yeah, it's built. We just got to finish the software side of it, and I should have this ready for pickup from sometime tomorrow, as long as everything goes well. So cool. I'm still debating on what to spend, because next year Intel may release a 52-core monster that's not going to be 1851. Do the 12900K bundle is cheap enough to write off? It's for video editing. Yeah, the 12900K bundle from Micro Center is a really good deal still, because you get really good processor for that price. The 12900K is a really good processor still. Also, you know, it doesn't have those issues from the 13th and the 14th gens, but yeah, that's a great deal from Micro Center. I think it's like $400 right now for the CPU, the motherboard, and the RAM. It's graphics cards that are just stupid expensive right now and stupid hard to get. Basically, everybody's just buying used cards right now to complete their builds. That's what I keep hearing from everybody. They keep asking me, is this a good deal? They send me a used card on Marketplace or eBay. Trying to help them with deciding if it's a good deal or not. So, all right, guys. That's the build for the evening. I do appreciate everybody that hung out while we built it. We do have more builds coming up tomorrow. I'm going to try to do 2, but depending on how I feel, we might just do 1. But Brandon, if you're still in here, we are doing your build tomorrow for sure, and that'll be the first one that I start with. So next build stream after that would be a Wednesday build stream, and then we'll try to squeeze in either a Thursday or a Friday build stream. And then after that, depending on if we get the RTX 5080 in, or the 5070 in, or 4070. It all depends on when we could get these cards in. We'll have more builds after that. So that's a maze. What's up, man? Welcome to the build show, sir. Thanks, Ben. You're welcome, Mike. Thank you for joining and hanging out. We appreciate you. Hanging out makes building a lot more fun. But thank you, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a good night, everybody. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm here. But we'll see you on the next one. If not, where's my keyboard? My controller. Good night, Ben. Good night, Tat. Have a good night. Nice to meet you, and good luck with the surgery. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Make sure you come back and catch another stream. We build pretty often here. This last month I've been pretty inconsistent because we've had a lot of stuff going on, but you're always welcome to hang out and chat it up. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.